I'm so glad that you came back to share some time with me today in my very special book nook. Today I chose a really sweet little book. It's called The Best Gift. And I would think if I was going to have a best gift, what would it be? I'm going to be thinking about it when I read this book, and you'll be thinking about it too. So this book was written by a lady, and her name is Holly Kelly. And I know there may be someone out there named Holly who knows that I think she is a very special young lady, and I love her very, very much. So let's get our reading glasses on and get started for today. In the first page, we have a little girl watching her mom get ready to go out. I wonder where she's going. Rosie watched Mama get ready to go to the hospital to see Grandma. "Why can't I come with you?" she asked. Mama kissed her on the cheek and said, "Because you're only 8 years old, and children under 10 are not allowed to go visiting in the hospital." "But Grandma's going to miss me," Rosie said sadly. "Yes, I know she surely will," Mama said. "But she'll be home in a week, and I'll be home by lunchtime so we can enjoy the afternoon together." It looks like Rosie is not very happy about the rules they have at the hospital. Rosie frowned. "Ugh, I think that's dumb. I bet I could make Grandma feel better." Mama smiled and she said, "I bet you could too. But the rules are the rules, Rosie, and we always need to be good listeners and follow the rules." "Well, how do you know?" Rosie asked. "Because," Mama said, "there's a big sign in the lobby that says, 'No children under 10 allowed for visiting hours.'" Mama pressed the tip of Rosie's nose the way she always did when she was through talking about something, and then she picked up her pocketbook. Oh, Rosie's just lonely, thinking about Grandma, wishing that she could go and visit, and waiting for her mom to come back home again. Rosie sat on the front steps and watched until Mama went around the corner. It made her stomach ache to think of how Grandma would feel better after her operation. Then she kicked a pebble all the way down the street to her friend's house. Her friend is named Kate. And there she is. It's always good to have a friend when you're feeling a little bit sad. So I'm very happy that she was able to go and visit with Kate. Rosie looked at herself in Kate's mirror. "What's the oldest you think I could be?" she asked Kate. Kate frowned. "What do you mean? I don't understand that. What are you asking me?" Rosie said impatiently. "I mean, well, could I just look like I'm 8? Or do you think somebody might think I was 9? Or maybe even 10? Kate scratched her head and said, "Well, I guess if you undid your braids and maybe wore a hat or something, you might look old enough to be 10. Uh-oh, I think Rosie might be hatching a plan. So Rosie's getting busy. I see her looking in a box. Maybe she's looking for a hat. On Saturday, Rosie put on her new blue sweater and went to Kate's right after breakfast. "I'm going to try and visit Grandma today," she whispered. "Will you walk to the hospital with me?" "Sure," Kate said. "But first, we have to get you dressed up." She took a hat and some gloves out of the hall closet. Rosie found a purse in Kate's costume box that didn't look too bad. She dropped in the $2.80 she had brought along to buy flowers. Oh my goodness, there she is all dressed up. I bet she thinks she looks very grown up like that. Kate unbraided Rosie's hair and brushed it out, and Rosie put on the hat and gloves. "You look great," Kate said. "You definitely look like you're 10. But Rosie felt a little bit scared. Whelan's flower shop was on the next street, and Rosie jumped when the bell over the door jingled. $2.80 will buy you 2 roses or 3 carnations, Mr. Whelan said crisply. Rose chose the 3 carnations. Mr. Whelan added some ferns and wrapped everything up in beautiful green tissue paper. And off they go. I think she might be a little bit nervous. It was 5 long blocks to the hospital. "You better wait here," Rosie whispered to Kate when they had passed through the automatic glass doors. "Well, how will you know where to go?" Katie whispered. Rosie shrugged. "I know she's on the 7th floor because Mama said so. I guess I'll just have to take the elevator up to the 7th floor and start looking around." Rosie adjusted her hat and started walking. The hallway seemed to go on forever. Oh, there she is. She looks like a very little girl in amongst all those adults. There were some signs on the wall over near the elevators. One of them was that rule about 10-year-olds. A man in a green uniform was standing near the signs. He told people where to go and answered their questions. He eyed Rosie very carefully. "Excuse me, young lady," he finally said as she edged toward the elevator door. "Children under 10 are not allowed upstairs." Oh. Rosie swallowed hard. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. "Well, I am 10, she wanted to say, but she just couldn't. She could feel everyone's eyes on her, and her own eyes were filling up with tears. Oh. So I guess Rosie's plan isn't going to work today. I'm feeling a little sad about that because I know how much she wants to see her grandma. Rosie held up the flowers. "Could you give these to my grandma Alice on the 7th floor? "Going up," the elevator man called as he took the flowers, and then the elevator doors slammed shut. Rosie's back home, and I know that her little heart is just as sad as can be. Rosie made Kate promise not to tell anyone what happened. She tried to not even think about Grandma and the stupid flowers. When she had to pass Mr. Whelan's store, she crossed over to the other side of the street. Oh, this looks like a very happy day. When Grandma finally came home, Mama took Rosie to visit her after school. Grandma was resting in the big armchair, and Rosie went over to give her a big kiss. I'm a Grammie, and I really like it when I get big kisses and hugs. And it looks like they're doing a little bit of reading together or a little project. Let's see what that's all about. What's in that box? Rosie asked. Well, come and sit with me and I'll show you, Grandma said. Rosie squeezed in next to her, and Grandma took out all the get well cards that people had sent her while she was in the hospital. They're so pretty, Rosie said. Her throat felt a little bit strange. And there's Grandma showing her something that is probably a big surprise for Rosie to see. I got some presents too, Grandma said. Aunt Edith sent me a lilac-scented bath powder, and Uncle Henry sent me this nice book. Grandma opened it to a page that was marked, and there, in between the pages, were Rosie's 3 carnations neatly pressed in the green tissue paper. But this, Grandma said softly, was the very best present of all. And there they are. I bet that just made Rosie's heart so very happy to know that her gift was the very, very most favorite gift of all the gifts her grandma got while she was in the hospital. How come you didn't tell anybody you got them, Rosie asked. Grandma smiled. I just had a feeling that it was a secret, she said. Rosie stared at the pattern on the rug. They wouldn't let me up on the elevator, she said. I tried. I got all dressed up, so I thought that I surely could pass for a 10-year-old, but it just didn't work. I know, Grandma said, but it was very brave of you to try. I really missed you when you were in the hospital, Rosie said, trying not to cry. I missed you too, Grandma said, and the flowers made me feel better than all the other gifts, all of the cards, and even all of the visitors. Really? Rosie asked. Really, said Grandma. And this is the last page of the book. Rosie gave Grandma a great big hug, and she wiped her eyes and wriggled down off the chair. Then she went to help Mama bring some tea and cookies into the living room. The cookies were the good kind from the bakery, and they smelled wonderful. The end. I really like this book, and I was thinking while I was reading it, what are some of the most favorite gifts that I've ever gotten? And I'm pretty old, so I've gotten a lot of gifts over the time that I've been around. I've gotten some big expensive gifts. I've gotten some birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, gifts in my Easter basket. Oh, all kinds of things. One time when I was a little girl, all I wanted for Christmas was a football. And I opened up all my presents and I got a doll, and I got new pajamas, and I got a slinky, and a few other things. But I was very disappointed that I didn't get my football. But I was thankful for the things that I did get. And then, all of a sudden, I turned around, and what do you think my mom was holding? The football. So that was one of my most favorite gifts. But as I've gotten older, the gifts that I love the best really don't have anything to do with stuff. It's when people take time to share a smile with me, or if they ask me how I'm doing, or if they say, you look a little sad today. Is there something I can do to help lift your spirits? That's a gift from the heart. And those are my favorite kinds of gifts. So I'd really like to know what your kind of favorite gifts are too. So when we see one another, maybe you can share that with me. So before we go today, there's a couple of people that I want to say hello to because I know that they watch and they come to Grammie's Book Nook to share a little bit of their day. One of them is Jessica. So hi Jessica, I'm sending you a kiss. Mwah! And I want you to say hello to Dan for me and tell him how much we love him and we hope he's feeling better. And I also want to say a special hello to my friend Anaya. I know that Anaya watches sometimes, so if you're there today, Anaya, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. And to all the rest of you, I love you all, and I'm so happy you came to visit today. So, when we get together tomorrow, I'll have a different book. Not sure what it's going to be, but I know that you're going to enjoy it. So is everybody ready to close our time together today? Let's do it. You all know what to do. Roll up those sleeves and get ready for our hand washing song. And I want you to remember, I was listening to a special doctor the other day, and he said we need to be washing our hands about 10 times a day. And I said, what? 10 times a day? That seems like an incredible amount of times to wash our hands. But if the doctor says that that's what we need to be doing, I'm going to be doing it. So I'm going to be singing this song a lot. And I hope that my Eddie Bear doesn't say, how many times do I have to listen to the hand washing song every day? And I'll say, as many times as it takes. So here we go. We're going to wash those germs away, strong and healthy every day. I make wise choices so I stay well. I'm going to wash those germs away. I'm going to wash those germs away, strong and healthy every day. I make wise choices so I stay well. I'm going to wash those germs away. I make wise choices in every way. I'm going to wash those germs away. Okie dokie, have a great night, and I will look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye now.